Hey guys, today I want to do a round breakdown. This is LG versus TSM. This is from DreamHack Winter. Luminosity won the pistol round, and I want to watch what they did on these anti-eco rounds, what they did, how it's good, and why we can all learn from it. So starting out here, LG obviously they won the pistol round, and we're going into the first eco round. I like what TSM did as well. I'd like to point that out. They bought 5 smoke grenades and no armor, and this is just going to help them maintain some form of map control. They can smoke off the choke points, smoke off banana, smoke off middle. It's going to be really good for them to try to win the round, but LG's style of approaching this anti-eco round is really strong. So here, what we saw at the start of the round was Taco and Fallen came and cleared out banana quite aggressively with a grenade at the car, and they're coming up with their SMGs and armor. We can see that Phoenix is just spotting for a mid push from T stairs, and he's going to make his way up closer to the Mexican underpass. Cold was on the bridge. He's just spotting into window room, just spamming, just popping shots off. And we see Fur coming into the long halls, and he's going to go and make his way over to Romeo area. So while this is happening, Taco's going to hide. He's going to play an anti-flash position, and the anti-flash position is just going to be here. If TSM pops a flash over B and pushes out to kill Fallen, Taco's in a great position to deal with this attack. So while everyone's getting into good position and holding map control here over at just everywhere else on the map, Fallen and Taco are going to set up with their fence here. So Fallen's going to throw smoke for CT spawn at B, and then he's going to do a pop flash in, and then he's going to throw a Molotov, and the Molotov is going to go Trivox. Something I'd like to see LG do is we can notice that Taco actually has a Molotov right here, and I'd like to see him use it before he goes in, because Taco's going to be scouting the bomb site, and if he runs into any form of stack and he gives up that Molotov is very, very powerful. It stops a rush for 7 seconds, deals a lot of area spread damage, and it can really change the outcome of a round. So we're going to see him pushing in here off the pop flash. He's going to run through the smoke backwards, get the opening kill, and Taco's job here is to just information gather. He's a sacrifice. If he dies, not a huge deal. He gives up an SMG, in this case an SMG and a Molotov, but he's just going to see if TSM is stacked here. He comes in and he ends up getting 2 kills. He's jumping around the site, he sees that everything's clear, and quickly before the round passes too much, I'm going to show you where the rest of the teammates are. So we saw Phoenix was in this position holding for this push. We saw Cold was around this area here holding for this push through the window, and Fur was over here holding for this push. So none of the places TSM could not push anywhere. As soon as LG goes into this B bomb site and they say, hey, it's clear, Cold's going to rotate over, Phoenix is going to rotate over, and they're going to come to this bomb site. If Taco ran in here, and let's say there's a stack with just players just in these general areas here, and Taco runs in and he dies and he calls, hey dude, there's 4 people at B. What's going to happen is Fallen's just in this area here. It's going to be like, alright, we gave up an SMG, who cares? Fur's in a great position, he's going to start going halls. Phoenix, Fallen are going to meet up with Cold, and Cold's in this position here, remember that? And they're all just going to sprint up mid and probably smoke off this area here and say, you know what, we have a 4 versus 1, 4 versus 2 over at the A bomb site. Let's just go in, get that kill, and plant the bomb. We know where the rest of the guys are. So those are the outcomes that could have happened here. TSM's either stacked B, and then LG goes in, they say, hey, they're stacked here, and they end up going back to A. TSM is just doing a default setup, which is what they did. They had 2 people here and 3 people towards A. Or they're going to have 4 people towards A and like 1 person towards B, and then they're just going to run over the stack and come to the bomb site safely. So that's how this round's playing out right now, and then we're going to see that Cold's swinging over to B with the bomb down middle. Fur's just coming around. They're looking for kills. They have SMGs, remember that. They have 4 SMGs. I'd like to see 2, maybe 3 AKs on these rounds. One of the big things that could cause these guys to lose is if TSM had armor, because LG just had a bunch of SMGs. If TSM 4-spot armor here, we could have seen a different outcome. So it's always nice to see at least 2 AKs on these types of rounds. But what we're going to see here from Luminosity in this following round is something that's kind of similar in theory, but it has still it's used for a different reason. So Luminosity, it's the 3rd round. They know that TSM probably beyond a reasonable doubt does not have armor here. They're going to keep on to their SMGs and they're going to go really super aggressive. So last round they could have chosen to be really super hyper aggressive, but they chose not to. They did it a little bit more safe. This round they're just going to be like, listen, these guys, they're probably USPs, maybe P250s, maybe a couple flashes, but no armor. That's like, they're beyond certain there's no armor, and probably don't have smoke grenades on TSM. So what they're going to do is they're going to kick up the pace a little bit, and they're going to still watch every part of the map that needs to be covered, and I'll just show you that again on the radar what needs to be covered. So these are the push points that the counter terrorists can do: banana, middle, through the window room, or through the long haul. So what needs to be covered are these 4 different areas that the CTs can push. So Phoenix is going to be over here at banana, and he's going to be throwing a Molotov at the car and just locking down this choke point. So this choke point dealt with. Taco, he's going to make his way over to Romeo, and that's going to cover and kill any CTs pushing these 2 areas. And then the rest of the team, the 3 players in mid, the 3 musketeers, they're going to go up. A couple of players are going to branch off and go wrap arch side, and Fallen is going to sit here and is going to watch for port side. So we're going to see 2 people wrapping the bomb site, scouting in, similar to what they did the previous round where they just scouted 1 person into B. They're going to do it with 2 people around A with SMGs here. And they're going to do it very quickly. They're just going to use flashes, pop flashes top mid, nades top mid, and they're going to be like, they're just going to scout everything, see if it's clear. It's also important to note, every time they pass one of these choke points, they're going to jump because they want to make themselves a harder target to hit. They see that the bomb site's relatively clear right now. They wrapped up arch. No one in cubby, no one in spawn, no one library, no one shooting them from balcony or pit yet. There's 1 person on the site that they see, but Phoenix sees that there's a banana push here. It's calling that there's a banana push. So that's going to prompt the rest of the team. Fallen's going to go in, and they're just going to clear this bomb site. And Taco's just going to take the bomb, and he's going to go over to A. And Phoenix is fighting. So what Taco actually does is he wants to protect that gun. Phoenix has the AK, and he's getting pushed by 3 players down B. So he's going to drop the bomb to the rest of the team to plant the bomb and play it safe. It's going to help make sure that Phoenix is able to stay alive and make sure that he can keep this gun. The push is being made, and he's going to go down. The gun's been given up. I don't necessarily agree with Taco's play. I understand the reasoning behind it. Hey, we don't want the CTs to save that AK, so he goes and chases it. And it was a 3 versus 5 at that point. TSM's probably not going to win that round, and Taco is close enough to his teammate to warrant that kind of decision. But if Phoenix was too far away, or if Taco wasn't close enough to Phoenix in the first place, then I would say, you know what, probably not. But because Taco had an SMG, gets that kill bonus, and wants to protect that AK, I think it's a reasonable play. But we saw 2 different ways that LG played these anti-ecos. Very similar in a sense that they had 1 or 2 people with SMGs jumping around corners and scouting for a stack. And again, it's the same thing. They have every position is being watched and covered on both of these rounds. So these are the ways that CTs can push. This spot here will cover both the long haul push and the window push both at once. A player down here or at middle is going to watch for that mid push, and a player down at B is going to watch for that banana push. So as long as you're watching all the bases and you're maintaining map control so that your opponent can't push around, then you can choose where you want to go on your anti-eco when you're scouting around. If you see a stack, you have that map control, you can go to that opposite bomb site. That's not a problem. If you run in and there's no stack, then you know, hey, you know what, let's just bring the bomb here, it's safe. If one of these guys sees that 4 people are pushing down, then these guys know, let's just run up lane side and get into the bottom site and smoke off top mid or this choke point, for example. So LG being really efficient in their anti-ecos. The first one, they lost 0 players. The second one, they lost a couple of players. Not a huge deal. They've maximized their economy because they got a bunch of SMG kills and they've stayed alive. So great ways to approach this anti-eco, not only staying alive, but approaching it in a safe manner. And this is something that we can all learn from. Anyways, I hope this video breakdown helped. If it did, remember to subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Peace.